Down and everything. Yo, what's going on, sports family, man? And we back again with another episode of Micah and Friends. And today, you know, it's the usual suspect, man. We got the La Familia in the building, man. We got Nate checking in from the West Coast, aka the Best Coast. Nate, what's up with it?
Man, we all good, man. Lakers up 3-1 in this final, so LA about to go up Friday. That's all I know.
Man, I got some smoke for you. I ain't even gonna hold you, man. We got my boy Cott checking in all the way from Maryland, man. What's going on with it, bro? You good out that way?
Yeah, man, everything straight on this end, man. Just, you know what I'm saying, staying out the way, staying blessed, man.
Man, on God, man. We about to get it going, man. And you know this whole podcast is being presented by National Sports Chat, so make sure you go over there, follow us, like, comment, subscribe on everything. And it's being powered by TOV Sports, TOV Digital Media. Make sure you go over there, check them out, YouTube, IG, all that. Shot them out, and yeah, we about to get it going, man. Off rip, I need to talk to y'all about the finals, man. I need to just check y'all temperature and see where y'all at, man. Well, I need to get y'all thoughts on this 3-1. Can Miami turn it around? Is it over with? Nate, I'm gonna start it off with you.
I had Lakers in 6 before the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
If game 1 showed me anything, I kind of thought, my prediction would go the way I thought. But now I'm had to say Lakers in 5. I mean, not to say that the Heat can't get it done because they fight really, really hard, and they got that one win off of probably one of the greatest finals performers I've ever seen, most definitely. I mean, you got somebody dropping a 40, 12, and 11 game. I mean, those aren't going to be games that are just a cakewalk, even if they don't have any. Even if they didn't have Bam or Goran Dragic. I think the series is kind of gone the way I thought, though. I was saying before this series how I thought Bam would kind of be neutralized just because AD's size and versatility. And, he has some good plays. He's even when the first game before he got injured, he has some good plays. But versatility-wise, he's just not ready to compete with Anthony Davis on this level, I don't think. Not to say he doesn't have the fight in him, too. But, I mean, I think we're seeing from AD and LeBron, like, those two dudes are, like, two different beasts. Like, their games are very polished. You feel me? And, like, when they're clicking on the defensive end, I don't see them getting beat. I thought the one game that they did get beat, they took their foot off the gas. They were switching everything. They were allowing Jimmy Butler to get guarded by Dwight Howard, your KCPs, your Rondos, instead of, as you saw last game, LeBron and AD took that defensive charge for the entire game. And, you kind of neutralized him in the second half. But, I do think that the Lakers will close it out on Friday. They wearing their Mamba jerseys Friday. They haven't lost in those yet. Not to say that those mean everything, but I think they'll close it out. They smell blood in the water. Like yesterday, you could tell that, LeBron, he had a shitty first half, but you could tell he knew it was blood in the water because that second half he came out there and closed it out like he should have, Like they should have won game, game 3? They should have won game 3, but it happens. I mean, the Lakers dropped one to AI in them, 0-3? Not to say Jimmy Butler's AI, but I mean, AI didn't have 40, 12, and 12. You feel me? AI is not 6'6" and can also guard or compete on the defensive end on the other end. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying Jimmy Butler's Allen Iverson, but that was a very Allen Iverson-esque performance in the finals. So, I think the Lakers did their job, got back to it game 4. Their role players stepped up big. KCP, I feel like he's been the X factor of this series and a lot of the time in the playoffs. So, I think everybody has their roles. Like I said, I think the Lakers will close it out. Don't want to give those guys too much confidence. I think they're coming home with that title on Friday.
Facto. Nate, Kyle, let me hear what you got, bro.
Man, I want to start off this segment by just giving Nate his props. Last segment we talked about, I was emphasizing how I think that Miami's zone defense could give LA some problems, and they completely tore it up. AD was completely too comfortable. He's too good of a player to just let him operate in the middle like that. And as we all know, getting to the middle of zones is a zone killer. You know what I mean? So I will say, Miami, Eric Spoelstra, game 3. I think partly why they came out and got that W is because Eric Spoelstra made adjustments and started fronting AD and went straight man to man and started fronting AD and all the bigs. In all honesty, making it harder to catch catch the ball in the post. You know what I mean? Digging down, bringing double teams every time they touch the ball. But I think this series just comes down to the Lakers have too many. They just outmatched the Heat. They have too many. They have a lot of seasoned vets. Rondo. I know with KCP he been balling, but Rondo, he's making all the difference. Last game he had 2 points, but he had 7 and 5. And, hey, he had his biggest 2 points in the last minute. They mattered. And he makes winning plays, whether it's steals on defensive rebounds, just, you know what I'm saying, finding the open guy. He's a wizard in the pick and roll. So, and then on top of LeBron James and AD, we all know what they're capable of, 2 top 5 players in the world. So, hey, I give the Heat, let's be real, no one expected them to be here. I mean, so we got to tip our hats off to them, man. They are a super gritty team. I think they're going to be around for a long time. Definitely a team in the future to be reckoned with that young core. But this year, man, it's the Lakers' year. Kobe passing, they just got a lot of energy and a lot of reason and why to want this ring. Yeah, man. Aside from that, I'm really impressed by the role players of Los Angeles, man. They really stepping up. If besides KCP and Rondo, I really like to play at Dwight Howard, even though he hasn't been getting as many minutes this series, but he's still been effective. Caruso,
man, they making Caruso look like God. Nigga, he one of them guys. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like I respect him as a hooper, all that, but it's just certain guys. If I'm in the NBA, it's not gonna happen, bro.
Hey man, you say that off appearance.
I'm wrong, but I'm just saying that he one of them guys that, hey, bro, go flood this shit.
You gonna try? Look,
real talk. He one of those niggas.
Hey, I definitely feel that 100%.
Yeah,
hey man, he held his own and proven he's worthy of. You know what I'm saying? Being in the league, he's definitely belongs. You know what I mean? So I think Rob Pelinka did a great job putting that core together, surrounding LeBron with necessary shooters and other guys who can create, and Rondo, but other guys who can get their own shot and put the ball in the basket besides AD and LeBron. So. Hey man, let's be real. Nobody expected the Heat to beat them. I mean, I've been riding with them all playoffs, so I picked them to win the championship. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. It was a long shot. So I'm gonna go out on the limb and say the Heat are going to extend this series to 6. Though I'm gonna say that. So Lakers in 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my take.
My original joint was Lakers in 6 or 7, but we can't always foresee injuries and stuff like that, man. With Dragic going down, Bam going down that one game, man, and for coming back being what he was, I definitely, and that's not an excuse for them losing at all. Just because me personally, I accepted Kawhi's ring, so if I accept Kawhi's ring, I got to accept this ring. If I accept the 2015 Warriors ring, I gotta accept this ring. You feel me? So it's like it's hard to really just be able to equate for injuries. But man, this is definitely a good finals. Even though it may be over in 5. Hopefully it goes to 6. You feel me? So my pick is still my take a stand. But I don't know, man. The way it's looking out, I just feel like. And I don't know why, but I feel like when they underman, when the Heat are like way underman, they perform better. Cause it's like Jimmy already know, like, man, I don't goddamn, it's me and Rookie. You know what I'm saying? It's me, Rookie, and Duncan. You feel me? Like this all we got. And I feel like that showed game 3 for real. Cause I mean, I didn't even expect them to win that game, no cap. So it was, it's just been good to watch. And like you said, Kyle, we all knew that the Heat, they even know themselves, like, all right, we're way ahead of schedule, but it's good we here, though. You know what I'm saying? It's good we here. So we could be able to next year we know, all right, if we could get here, we just need another piece or two. Not two superstar pieces, probably one superstar piece and a good another like good role player, probably a good big, you know what I'm saying? A real good, like a real five, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody that could come off the bench and really be a solid five. Because like you said, Nate, with Bam, it's just AD. You know what I'm saying? He's towering over him, bro. Bam is only 6'8". You know what I'm saying? Like he's LeBron height. You know?
And that's kind of was what I was getting at earlier when I was saying, this would be a difficult series for him because he hasn't ran into like the quality of big men that the Lakers have. Because LeBron is a big man in essence, in aura, you feel me, in size. He's a big man. He's like the same size as Bam. You feel me? So like Bam's best asset to me is being able to grab rebounds, push the pace, and assist. But it's not that easy when you're having a rebound against AD. You're trying to put back shots up over AD and LeBron. Like they're not little guys as opposed to the Celtics. I mean, that was Daniel Tice a round ago. That was Robert Williams. You feel me?
I will say that Bam has he didn't play his ass off regardless of like yesterday, like I mean, but even so he had a couple plays where he made LeBron look little, you know what I mean? Like LeBron, you know what I'm saying, on the offensive glass. And like I said, he's also what, 20, 22, 23? So
it's no knock on Bam. He just doesn't have the versatility just yet. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of why I thought he'd be neutralized. Most of his baskets come close to the basket. And against the Lakers, you got to kind of expand your range. Like, I didn't think he'd be a terrible player in the series, but I didn't think he'd be a 30 and 15 guy that we saw against the Celtics. Like, I kind of figured that wouldn't happen just based off matchups. But, the Heat, they got a very bright future. If I'm them, though, I mean, you got to be careful on trying to get too many other guys because at some point you're going to have to re-up Bam, and he's going to command a max contract.
Yeah.
If you want to re-up Tyler Hero, he's probably going to get a nice rookie scale extension whenever that time comes. You feel me? Duncan Robinson, he going to have to get re-signed. A premier shooter, that's not cheap nowadays in the NBA. You feel me? Then you got Kendrick Nunn.
I'm talking about my bad, Nate, but nigga, JJ Redick still get off his ass and make about 17,
20 years a year.
Yeah, you said 20?
Yeah. Like they got to be careful in terms of spending too much this summer and not, I know Pat Riley's a good GM, but you don't want to constrict yourself and just have deadlines because, if you start giving all this money away, like for the future and stuff, it's going to be difficult to keep all the young talent that they have. So if I'm them, I'm not prioritizing getting a superstar. I'm going to prioritize building from within and then, maybe get like another piece. Like you said, Victor Oladipo. I don't look at him as a superstar, but that could be a very complimentary piece. But if I'm them, you got to be careful in terms of speeding up the timeline with your young guys a little too fast.
That's a good point. That's a good point for sure. Like I said, I think just one superstar and just a decent role player. You know what I'm saying? Just somebody that could be able to create some shots for itself. You know what I'm saying? When the two superstars are out, because quite honestly, bro, like every team to really make it over that edge, you're gonna need two superstars. But like that's just how it's coming. Luckily now you don't need 3 or 4 just because the Warriors got out of here, but you at least gonna need 2 just to, you know what I'm saying, be able to make some noise. But one thing that is a positive about this shit though that I love, because I feel like the NBA is starting to get a little bit more competitive, and I feel like we talked about this on the earlier episodes, just basically getting back to the dynamic duos and the balance of power. With it not being 3 superstars on one team and it's just 2, more guys could go more places. You know what I'm saying? So now Jimmy is showing us, hey man, nigga, I'm a superstar. Well, I don't even know if I say Jimmy a superstar, but I think Jimmy a star.
After the 40-point trip dub in the finals against them,
he showed it.
I gotta give him superstar. He's not a stat sheet superstar though. You feel me?
Do you think superstar? And just to ask, do you think he top 10?
I mean,
it's tough when you talk about top 10 because then you start factoring in like physical, like positions, and then you start factoring in like all around skill sets. And if you're talking about a straight skill set, he's not a top 10 player to me.
No, I'd have to say right now he is, only because he went through multiple top like dudes that I might consider in the top 10 in this run. So, he went through Giannis already. He done already gone through Jason Tatum, the Jalen Browns. They may not be top 10, but like closer to top 20 players. You feel me? On their way up. So right now, I'd have to give him top 10. He'd probably be in that latter half though. I'd have to put together a list, but just based off what he does defensively and stuff, like I might give him the nod. But to Cott's point, it's not really a guarantee. But I mean, shit, after what I saw from him in Game 3, the only thing Jimmy's missing is his confidence in a three ball. You feel me? Like he just has to be confident enough to put it up. Because last game, it was up so many good shots.
It was bad last game. I can't even lie. Like after a while, he was getting to that turnaround pull up in the mid post area, but they started adjusting to that. They started reading that and knowing that he was getting to that shot. And they were going under the screens like 5 feet away from dude. I'm like, yo, what did you turn into Giannis Antetokounmpo? Like, you more dude? Like, I was really killing them last game. So that's exactly why. And then I will say, like, along with this run, even though Jimmy is the heart and soul, well, the leader of that team, it hasn't just been Jimmy Butler. It's been games where he's been quiet, and Tyler Hero stepped up, or Duncan Robinson stepped up.
It's like
Bam Adebayo stepped up, and that's what I was making the point about that Heat team from the get go. They are deep. They're deep. I would say they're 1 through 10. They can run two all their bench lineup, and they can rotate. It doesn't really matter with them. They have a lot of guys who can put the ball in the basket, and just the ultimate. The like I said, the team they have right now epitomizes the culture of the Miami Heat. So, I mean, it's not just Jimmy Butler, and also when you get that superstar title, it's like you're highlighted when you don't perform. Whereas when Jimmy Butler didn't perform, he didn't score as much. He didn't get that same criticism as a Kawhi Leonard, as a LeBron James, as a Greek freak. You know what I mean? So it's tough because I still wouldn't give him that. That's why I can't give him that top 10 nod.
That's why I kind of like put him on the outside. But I would say this. This is what I'll say. Jimmy Butler has shown you don't need a perennial superstar to at least be in the finals. You know what I'm saying? So
I think the Detroit Pistons showed that in 04.
Yeah, they definitely showed that in 04.
Bro, all these other teams out here, but I'm talking about as of recently, because you know, like how everything is going with like was just starting to just fuck it. We don't even got no guys to really match up against them, so we fuck around, let them sweep. Fuck that, bro. If you got something in here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could be in there. Because, like you said, Cop, bro, it's dogs. Like, them niggas still dogs. No matter if they would have got swept, them niggas dogs, bro. They had to be dogs to even get to that point. You know what I'm saying? So,
they got heart. And they also just have so much versatility. Like, everybody on their team, to me, who gets minutes is a gamer. Like, not to say they're great players, but Kelly Olynyk, like, he's a good gamer. If you
That's a great point.
Him at the park, you feel me? Like, he gonna set you some good screens. He might get some offensive rebounds.
He might tear a nigga's shoulder out of socket.
Exactly, on some K-Love. But you know, like they have a lot of guys who just know how to play the game of basketball. It may not show up on the stat sheet. Like, even Duncan Robinson, he had that, like, 0 for game, right? You feel me? He was still, like, coming off screens, looking for the correct pass, looking for the correct play, not turning the ball over. You feel me? And I think, like, that's intangible. It may not win you finals, but it'll win you a lot of games. Like, superstars realistically should win the finals. Like, I say the Pistons, I say really the Mavericks besides Dirk. Like, those are probably the two teams in my recent memory, NBA history in general. Because, you feel me, in the 90s, you had Mike and Scotty. You had Hakeem. You had Ross. You know, you had some really good duos. And Tim Duncan, Kobe, Shaq, you know. And then, so at this point, you can compete with guys that play hard and are skilled, but I don't know about winning a title. I think that's kind of what we see in this one. Because, you know, AD and LeBron are the only dudes that I'd even consider stars on that LA Lakers team. Everybody else is a pretty expendable player at this point in their career. So I think you do need at least one or two, or at least two. And I think Jimmy, you know, get him Victor Oladipo. Maybe get him somebody like a Kyle Lowry. You know, he's kind of gotten better to me, and, you know, a little bit more seasoned, more veteran. Get him somebody like that knows how to play.
You go get Oladipo, you might as well get Bill.
Yeah, if you could get Bill, get Bill. I mean, if you could get Bill, if you're the Heat, you have to make that trade. You know, Jimmy and Bill, I don't think Bradley gets enough credit for his defensive capabilities because he's been on trash teams. I mean, dude is quick, he's strong, athletic. You feel me? 6'6", nice, like solid built frame, like him in that Heat culture would, man. The East,
Hey,
I don't
Bill
see it.
about 6'4", bro. But it's cool.
He's
We'll let him rock.
6'4". With the
Yeah.
shoes, he like 6'6". You know what I mean?
Yeah. But man, let's go ahead and get into this next one, man. We got, man, just the Kyrie Irving controversy. Kai, I just wanted to get your thoughts on what's been going on with Kyrie. I still ain't watched the whole podcast with him and Durant, but I know I guess he was saying that they took his quote out of context and stuff like that, saying that they don't need a coach. So what's your thoughts just on just Kyrie and everything right now, bro?
Man, I feel like Kyrie, he's one of those guys. I honestly think he likes attention. Like I feel like he's an intelligent. I respect his intelligence. I feel like sometimes he says certain things just because he knows people will overreact. But in this situation, I kind of hear what he was saying. In a sense, this is how I took it. I took it as, yo, when you have two players in the caliber of Kyrie Irving and KD, I think the head coach should be more of a big brother rather than a father. And I mean, it's like you can't tell Kyrie Irving like straight up, don't do this, don't do that. It has to be an open conversation, and it should be. And I feel like that's how I feel like that's how you have a productive culture, productive system. I feel like that's how basketball should work, because ultimately these dudes play at the highest level. They are two of the best players in the game. So you have to respect their IQ as well. So that's what I feel like he meant by we don't necessarily have a head coach. And Steve Nash is pretty young, former player. So I feel like like you said, I haven't heard the entire podcast either. So I couldn't really get the vibe of it. But from that quote, the media loves to stir things up. Just take what they want out of what you said and put it out there as that. So I can't see Kyrie Irving just straight up disrespecting Steve Nash and saying we don't have a head coach. Like, come on, dude. Like, he wants to win. I know he wants to win. So, and if he meant it in the way that they try to portray it, that's not a winning culture in that sense. So I can't imagine he meant it anything other than it should be an open conversation. No one is, I mean, you got to have, hierarchy structure, but at the end of the day, it should be, like I said, open conversation. Everyone can take criticism. Hey, coaches aren't always right. You know what I mean? Like, the players are the one out there on the floor. Like, they should be able to tell their coach, yo, I understand you want to run this, but I'm seeing this out there. You know what I mean? So, and as far as his, when we talking about the LeBron comment, as far as he's trusting KD, he finally has somebody he can trust. That comment too, we're going to touch on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, with that one, I felt like those shots thrown, to be honest. I feel like he was throwing shots because, come on, dude, you play with LeBron James. He's a top 5 player. It's in his resume, him making clutch plays. I mean, dude's a winner, even though his finals record might say otherwise. But he's a winner. You know what I mean? He got there, and he right. And I mean, never had a losing record. Like, the list goes on and on. So I do feel as though maybe Kyrie, but you did see, I will say to his point, in that 2016 championship, what happened in that last possession?
Kyrie took the shot.
LeBron had the ball in his hand. He said, "Hey, Kai, come here. You
Steph
do
was
it."
The switch. Steph was their equivalent to what he
No,
did in the Duncan.
that's a great point. That's a great point, Nate. But I don't know, man.
I'm not saying LeBron pass off of Steph.
Yo, I don't know, man, but in that situation, I do feel as though you got two head honchos. So either one should be able to take the shot. Like you said, Nate, that's a great point. They had the mismatch. They were definitely keying in on Steph that entire series. So, but ultimately, like, you got to put some respect on LeBron James' name. Like, he is that. He has proven that. And but hey, I still would agree with him. Like, if I'm choosing between LeBron and KD, who I'm giving the ball up to, I'm giving it to KD every time.
KD a better shot maker.
That's me. But yeah, man, I'm still a big fan of Kyrie. I feel like he's a little misunderstood. Sometimes his choice of words are a little off. You know what I mean? His PR can be worked on, but hey, sometimes when you're that good, can't nobody tell you nothing. So, um,
I
so
mean,
I mean, hey,
Let me see what you got on that, Nate, man.
look, Kai really just said a great point when he said his PR needs a lot of work, though. This dude,
Mhm.
Kyrie, man, like, I don't hate Kyrie, but he's literally starting to turn himself into a media villain unwarranted. You feel me? Like, his point about Steve Nash was very true. I think coaching should be a collaborative effort, especially with a new type coach. I mean, how is he going to learn how to coach if he's not getting any input on people that's been coached before? Like Kai said, they out there running the plays, what works, what doesn't work. So I do agree coaching should be a collaborative effort, but I also don't think you should just be saying that. Those are conversations that you should be having with your coach, your front office, your team. Like, okay, Steve Nash is our new coach. However, like, this is going to be a collaborative effort between us all to groom him on how to be a professional head coach, what type of stuff we like to run, etc. But it shouldn't be like I don't know, like, why be so quick to run your mouth to the media about it, especially on Kevin Durant's podcast? I mean, are you just trying to draw plays or draw clicks? Like, I'm not exactly sure. But that's what I thought with the LeBron comment. I thought that was pretty well pointed. I mean, there's only been one other player in his career that he'd probably even trust to take the last shot. But it's just interesting to me because besides that finals moment, Kyrie has, in my eyes, I don't think he has that many big shot like daggers or anything. Does he? Like, is he a huge clutch time shot maker? Like, do we have any other like I remember when Kyrie had that 50 ball against the Spurs. You feel me? That's a very memorable Kyrie performance to me. But I mean, in the beginning of this season, we saw tight games where Kyrie was missing game winners a few times. I mean, I could point to that game. He did that little and one move. He missed, but that's me nitpicking. You're
True.
definitely not going to make all the final shots. But I mean, for him to say that to me was just like, wow, like, have you really hit that many big shots, bro? I don't remember him hitting that many big shots that he's in a
You gotta
position
make me do
to
some
say,
research.
to say something like that. You feel me? Like, oh, I really trust this guy. Like, Kyrie, should we all trust you? Like, you did hit a huge shot, but how many times have you done that? Like, and how many times have you been on that stage without somebody named LeBron? You feel me? Before that, I don't think Kyrie even made the playoffs. So it's like, to him to point that, I mean, whether it was pointed or not, I think Kyrie's a smart enough guy to know how the media was going to take that. But it is what it is. If that's really how he feels, which is probably true though. Like, if I'm going to trust somebody to take a 3-pointer at the end of the game, of course I'm going to trust Kevin Durant. He's a great 3-point shooter. You feel me? Like, that's a pretty obvious statement. But you don't have to say something to the point of, this is the first time in my career like I felt like I could trust somebody like that. You could have just said, man, I'm so excited to get in some tight games with Kevin Durant. I love his shot making ability. I love, his handle. He got it all. But to say something about never playing with somebody like that, I thought that was a little weird. But I also like LeBron's little comment about it. He was just saying him and AD aren't jealous of each other. And I kind of thought, looking back at the whole Cleveland run, that was probably the reason Kyrie left. Kind of in the shadow. But AD and LeBron, like, it seemed like they have a real accountability relationship. Like, you see LeBron mess up, AD will go talk to him about it. You feel me? Instantly. Rondo will go say something about it to him instantly. But I kind of feel like Kyrie's been running around, behind people's back and stuff, and that's something he needs to stay away of with Kevin Durant. Like, if him and Kevin Durant have a few bad games, you definitely don't want Kyrie at the podium. You feel me? Because he might say something that might fester in a locker room for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, if KD and Draymond got into an
I
argument,
might say, how KD came.
That's what I'm saying. And if that really caused him to leave a dynasty team, like, I mean, I think Kyrie just has to be very, very careful with his words in the media. Dealing in Brooklyn, which is the New York market, one, so it's a harsh market, and two, playing with Kevin Durant, who we know is very susceptible to online comments and media. So, like, he just needs to be careful in what he says.
Man, all good points. All good points, man. Just to start it off, I'm gonna start with the LeBron thing, man. And like you said, Nate, you don't have to down somebody just to big up somebody. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to say, well, damn, I'm so glad I got KD now. Nigga ain't had no nigga I ever hit a shot before. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to down nobody to big up somebody. You could just say, yeah, I'm just happy in a new situation I'm in, man. I can't wait to, get it going. Not to saying that you got to give a political correct answer, but you just don't. You just have to just subliminally just diss somebody to, you know what I'm saying, big up somebody. But one thing I do want to say, Kai, you brought up a good point with just with the coaching thing, just about how when you have superstars like that, they should be more of like a big brother than like kind of like a father. And I feel like that's more true today than ever because it's not a lot of guys now that'll let somebody just, you know what I'm saying, do them like how Pop was doing Tim Duncan. Like I remember I was watching the All the Smoke podcast with Steven Jackson was talking to KG and he was like, man, I couldn't say shit to Pop because Pop calling cussing Tim Duncan out, man. Fuck do that, nigga. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? How can I say something, nigga? That's Tim Duncan. You know what I'm saying? So guys don't have that same mentality like they did back then. And the only guys that could kind of like, you know what I'm saying, garner that respect are guys like Pop, Phil Jackson, hell, rest in peace, John Thompson. You know what I'm saying? Just guys who got extensive, long careers in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy like George Karl.
Well, you got to be an older man to even act like a father figure. You feel me? You got to be Steve Nash. Steve Nash not that much older than Kevin Durant and Kyrie. So, like, him acting like a father figure wouldn't make sense. You know, you got dudes in their 60s, 70s that have seen a lot of life, you know, outside of basketball. Like, those are father figures. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm not going – Tyronn Lue's not a father figure to anybody. He's fresh out the league. You feel me? So is Steve Nash relative. So that is a great point, Kai. They really do have to be big brothers and, like, you know, they can't really run it like martial law these days.
Yeah, and they showing that it's showing improving that it works. Like when you look at somebody like Steve Kerr,
exactly.
Somebody that, all right, sometimes he'll even shut up the whole time out and let Iggy talk. You know what I'm saying? This like guys are knowing their roles and coaches are knowing their roles because you know, like the players are only evolving and getting better and better. So players are seeing stuff that coaches are seeing. You know what I'm saying? Even better. So it's like, well, damn, I will let this top superstar player display how he feels about, you know what I'm saying, what we need to do. But one thing I do want to say is, bro, I hate how people try to do Kyrie like he's just a scrub, bro. Like every time he open his mouth, it's just, well, shit, we can't listen to him. It's just invalid. Like, no, bro. Like, dude, LeBron wouldn't have got that chip without Kyrie, and Kyrie wouldn't have got that chip without Bron. I'm just keeping it a buck, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit wouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So when niggas just try to down, bro, it's like, come on, bro, like, dude, he ain't in the wrong forever. You know what I'm saying? Just talking about stuff because he's a champion. At the end of the day, he's a champion, and he played like a
get some buckets.
Fact. You know what I'm saying? So real talk, man. I just hate how guys like try to come at Kyrie, bro, because it's like, man, even like no matter what, like he do say some airhead shit. Like I'm not saying everything he say is right, but get that man the respect he deserves, bro. Like it's the guy niggas just man, you scrub, fuck Kyrie, fuck Kyrie. Like nigga, no, nigga, that nigga's a champion. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of niggas that can't say they champions, bro, and actually say they champions and really did some shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's well documented the shit he did. So, but Kyrie shoot himself in the foot sometimes by saying the dumb shit, but that just don't mean as a people we just gotta be like, man, fuck that nigga. Like he ain't talking, you know what I'm saying? Like that ain't cool, bro. And I can't stand for that. Like, and that's just for the people out there. Like, bro, just when he opened his mouth, bro, just don't totally just invalidate what he's saying. Even from the simple stuff before starting the bubble, like simple stuff that on the grand scheme of things. If you actually took a step back, you're like, oh, shit, like, I see how you really coming. Like, if niggas really wanted to make a change, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? I know it takes some time. We'll make our own shit. Fuck them. We don't need to give them no type of dollars. You feel me? And on the grand scheme of things, it's like, damn, like, that's some poetic shit, but it's not a lot of niggas who, like, think that. You know what I'm saying? That I would say radically. You know what I'm saying?
I think we touched on that when he was starting to talk about all this stuff and about the bubble. Like we said, Kyrie had a good message. It was just the wrong messenger. You know, like him just saying that the league, you know, they should start their own league right there.
Bro.
And at that point, the only reason I'm saying he's the wrong messenger for a statement like that to start your own league is just because, like, you know, he just doesn't, like you're saying right now, he just doesn't have the credibility for, like, when he talks, people listen and want to, like, actually understand, you know, whether that's from stuff that he said, you know, in the media, whether it's, you know, him talking about the earth being flat, you know, stuff like that makes people not want to listen to you in terms of actually like understanding where you're coming from and putting your ideas into action. You feel me? And that's why I say it was kind of the right message, you know. But maybe if that message comes from a LeBron, you know, like you said, that people obviously respect their word, like an Iguodala or something like that, you know, writes books, you feel me, invested in the tech and stuff like that, you know, maybe those type of dudes could say certain messages like that. But you know, that's why I don't think Kyrie is an idiot like you're saying right now. I think we should take. You know, he's a very talented player, one of the top generations of our point guard of our generation. So you know, we should definitely listen to his basketball acumen and stuff. But like you said, he shoots himself in the foot and makes people not want to listen to him on a deeper level than just a basketball player sometimes.
Yeah.
But you know, all that being said, Kyrie has done a lot of good stuff. I mean, he's executively producing like a movie about injustices. You feel me? He's raised money. You know, he's paid fees for people that have been fired. Like Kyrie is definitely not a bad dude, but he just needs to work on the stuff he says to the media. Like, you know, just keep some certain things off the media, you know, and just, you know, just have some better PR, like I said.
And I'm cool with that. I'm good with all that. Like, just definitely have better PR. But just as far as, like I said, with guys, like, just being, because, you know, on Twitter, you get to see anything. And this guy, well, fuck Kyrie, he never did. Like, bro, what? Like, this nigga's a dog, bro. Like, he's a dog, bro. Like, he's real deal. He match up with some of the best niggas now and expose them. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got anything else on that?
Nah, man, I think we covered it.
Man, let's go ahead and roll over to, because we last podcast, man, we was talking about, it was speculation about D'Antoni going to Philly, being Philly's head coach, but we found out that Doc Rivers has secured that gig, man. I want to get y'all thoughts just on Doc being in Philly. And I know one thing, just to give us further content, he was just saying that he's going to embrace the size, whatever the fuck that means. So, let me get y'all thoughts on this. Nate, I'm gonna let you start, bro.
You know, I want to shout out to Philly for bringing him in quickly. I thought Doc would be off the market pretty quick, but within a week, I thought that was extremely quick, damn near like 2-3 days.
Right, it was a week.
Yeah, I mean, like that shows a lot of faith in Doc, and you know, regardless of what's happened with the Clippers, you know, it still shows that people have belief in him. And I also respect him. He said he's going to go by Glenn Rivers now because there's only one Doc in Philly. You feel me? Dr. J. So he's going to be going by Glenn Rivers. So I respect that, him coming in the culture, you know, respecting everything. I think it's actually really good hire for Doc because those guys are really young, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. And like you kind of have a fresh slate right now. Like all the stuff they learned with Brett Brown, you can kind of throw that out the window. It's not like they in their 7th and 8th years, like they really vets. Like these two dudes are still really young players trying to figure out what it takes to win in the NBA. By him going big, I think he's saying that now because what you see with the Lakers. I think small ball, the concept of small ball, it has to be renamed, right? Because what people are really saying is they just want big players to be able to do the things that smaller players can do. But it's not about small ball. Like the Lakers, they can play small ball, but they're not small. LeBron 6'8", Markieff is 6'9", AD 7 feet, KCP, well, closer to 7 feet, KCP like 6'6", Danny's like 6'6". That's not really small ball. It's just more versatile, you know, and it's still positions, but, you know, you just want the guys that can be able to pass, swing the ball, etc. But you don't want to give up the size advantage, which is what the Rockets did. So they really would have fumbled the bag if they would have brought D'Antoni in. But, you know, if Doc Rivers can figure out a way to get Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons on the same accord, whether that's making Joel Embiid a better roller, because he's a terrible – like if you watch his screens, he's really not a great pick and roll big. He's really a traditional back to the basket big. So you got to work out with those pick and rolls to try to get the floor a little more space. But I want to see Doc Rivers turn that team into like one of the elite defensive teams in the league. That's where he should start. I mean, you got Ben Simmons, you got Matisse Thybulle, you got Joel Embiid, you got Josh Richardson, who's scrappy. You feel me? And then you got Al Horford, who's always been a solid defender. I think they'll get rid of him, but you know, we'll see. But I think that should be one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, and I think that's where Doc should start before anything. Ben Simmons has to shoot, and he better get on his ass for that. But if anything, you got to make it defense your priority up in Philly, and I think Doc can do that.
Man, one thing I could say, you feel me, is I've seen Doc with young guys. You know what I'm saying? Recently, I would say recently, we seen it with young guys, with him having Blake, you know, DeAndre Jordan, And Chris Paul wasn't young, but he was, you know what I'm saying, he was already seasoned and, you know what I'm saying, well into his career, but it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder, and with the personnel they have there and those type of guys, I don't know, bro. Not saying that Doc could be bad for him. I know Doc could, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Doc could probably get him to the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I just don't think they're getting over the edge. Like Doc, I feel like he needs to be with like somebody that needs to with a team that can get him over the edge. Like I don't think Philly is capable of doing it. I'm sorry, I don't think Joel and Ben are just able to strap it on for a 7-game series when it really matters down to to the Eastern Conference Finals and be able to take them over the edge. You know what I'm saying?
And they was one shot away from being the eventual champions last year, and that's like they third year playing with each other. You feel me? And this year you didn't get Joel and Ben together, but to your point about the Clippers, right? It didn't work with the Clippers, but similar things that happened with the Clippers happened to Philly, like injuries. Blake Griffin got injured one year in the playoffs. Chris Paul was always injured in the playoffs. You feel me? And DeAndre Jordan is just not that. He was never that guy. You feel me? Like he's a traditional big man, shot blocker, rebounder. That's it. You feel me? This is the best big besides KG, I'd say that Doc has ever coached. And then you look at a 6'10" point guard, like Chris always wasn't a scorer for the Clippers. He could score down the stretch, but Doc kind of really he really let him loose in terms of like the lob threat. You feel me? Pick and roll. So I think those are the type of stuff you got to do with Ben. But I think you got a good baseline there. They were that if Kawhi's shot doesn't go in, I mean, we could have been talking a whole year about a completely different outcome.
That's different teams and different makeup, though. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole different. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying it's completely different, but it's a different, definitely a different lineup. Or so Kyle, let me get your thoughts on this, bro.
Man, I want to salute the Philly. First of all, I think that was a great hire bringing Doc in. Nate, you made a great point as far as how Doc should first and foremost transform that team to a great defensive team. There is no reason with their current makeup that they should not be a top 3 defensive team in the league. Doc has shown in the past that he is able to instill certain capabilities and things like that.
Say what the fuck was that? Keep
going. But nah, I think that like I said, I think that he should be able to transform that team into a great defensive team. They have the makeup to do so. They have the size, the length, even the versatility to do so. And if you've seen in Doc's teams in the past, even with Boston, the Clippers, both Clippers teams regarding Lob City era and last year, he's always been a defensive-minded coach, in my opinion. And he's a seasoned vet. Like he's a guy that's well respected throughout the league. Definitely just an all-around good reputation as a good coach. Somebody who I think that a guy like Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid need. You know what I mean? This is a guy who you can't really disrespect because he's also a champion. He's done it before. He's gotten a place where you haven't. So if you want to get there, you better listen. Type of thing. Right. So he damn sure know what he's talking about. I think that the Philly, they do need to make a couple of adjustments structurally. As far as the makeup, they need more shooters around Ben Simmons. Like I don't think that Ben Simmons has to become a knockdown 3-point shooter in order for them to succeed. But they do. JJ Redick came out the other day and made a point saying that they really effed up when they let him go, and I agree. I agree 100%. That actually kind of caught me off guard last year when they let him go. I'm like, yo, it was times where I do think Brett Brown a little overused him sometimes, but he was definitely a key asset. You bring in a guy like him, he's a sniper on the outside with, whereas a guy like Josh Richardson, he's like you said, Nate, he's more of a scrappy defender, more of a slasher than a shooter. He's an inconsistent shooter. He can knock it down, but not that knockdown shooter that you need when you have guys like Ben, especially a Ben Simmons at point. You need a knockdown shooter on the court at the same time with him. Everyone else in that lineup is, pretty inconsistent shooters. They can knock it down, but they're in need of that sniper. But
Brian, he got a chance to right the ship this year because he made some really bad decisions last year, such as letting go of JJ Redick, such as re-signing. Even if you do lose Jimmy Butler, re-signing
like
Tobias Harris for 180.
185, like, come
That's a lot
on,
of
dude.
money. Then giving Al
Right.
Horford a 4-year deal worth 100 million.
And that was really just a test run. Like, I would have gave him a 1 year deal, see how it worked with him and Embiid, and then it turns out I don't know how good of a match they are because they're. I feel like say if you have two skilled bigs like Al Horford and Joel Embiid, you need two different dynamics. Like if you're gonna have a skilled big and Embiid, you need an athlete next to him, a guy who's going right,
Interior or something
a
like
guy
that.
who's going to bore, a guy who's going, you know what I'm saying, do the little things. Whereas Al Horford really isn't that guy. He's a guy who he needs his touches if he's going to bring, you know what I'm saying, as effective as he can be on the game. If he's going to produce to his maximum ability, he needs touches. He's always been that type of guy. So I do think that Philly, they do have a great. I think they have, I would say, top five young cores in the league. Like Nate, to Nate's point, they were one shot away from being in the Eastern Conference Finals within their third year together. You know what I mean? So I think that they have a lot of talent down there. It's just all about putting it together, and I think Doc could be that guy to take them to that next step.
If I'm Philly, you got to shed Al Horford's contract, which you
Yeah,
can,
definitely.
right? So talking about more shooters. Say you send him somewhere like the Kings, a young franchise. They're clearly not in contention. You feel me? They're just trying to take some salary right now. Maybe get back a Buddy Hill. You feel me? Maybe get back a Bogdanovich from them or something like that.
Right.
Maybe go out there and try to find somebody like a Duncan Robinson.
Because
Try
in
to
all honesty, you can move Tobias Harris to the four. Tobias
yeah,
Harris is about 6'10".
For
He
sure.
can be easily a stretch four.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I feel like right now they got a lot of. It's just too congested down there. A lot of guys want to work in that mid post area. That you know what I'm saying? It doesn't give enough variety within their offense right now. But definitely, I think you move Al Horford, get a good piece for him, surround him with a couple more shooters. Even
Hey,
I would,
whatever. My bad, cop, but whatever he do, bro, get Mike Scott out of town, bro. Like, please. I don't,
emoji guy, come on,
yeah, he be
emoji
hopping
boy.
on the court. Yeah, he don't even be hopping on the court. It's just the tats just make him a goofball. So it's like, see him
hey,
later.
he,
You know
he,
what I'm saying? Get dog ass out of here.
hey, look, he can knock down that three though, which is
Yeah,
so
nah, he a bucket. I will give him that.
he can
He
shoot
make
that joint.
he a bucket.
Yeah,
He
given
look,
the
he
right
look like
spot.
he's zooted up on something every game.
Hey,
And
nah,
Right
hey, I
here,
don't deny that either.
good
it
stuff.
look like he's zooted up on something that you can't smoke. Well, you
Big
can't
fact.
smoke it. It look like,
Un FDA approved.
yeah, it look like he on that MIA, yo. You feel me? Every game. But
No
any more
fact.
thoughts on this, bro?
Nah, man. Hey, shout out
Just a
Philly,
shooter.
shout out Doc. Wisdom the best. My fault, Glenn.
Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go. Yeah,
right.
Glenn Rivers.
Bro, it'd be interesting to see what Doc do for sure. But bro, let's
Another one.
Another
damn.
good shooter.
Shout out.
But man, let's get to this next topic, man. Scottie Pippen is saying that the bubble is just pickup ball. I wanted to get y'all thoughts on this. Do you think this is just pickup ball, or do y'all think this is like real deal Holyfield, and this is, you know what I'm saying, you validating the bubble? Nate, I'm gonna start it off with you, man. What's your thoughts?
Nigga, we have seen zones in the bubble. Are they running zones in pickup? I don't think so. We've seen boxing one.
I
We've
just
seen
seen niggas try to comprise together a zone and hey, bro, you
Hell
and
no.
how that work.
Hell no.
How that work.
Hell no.
We done seen zones in the bubble. We've seen 1-2-2s in the bubble. We've
Yeah.
seen great offensive sets in the bubble. We've seen amazing offensive outputs in the bubble. We've seen low scoring games, high scoring games. You feel me? We've seen everything in terms of basketball. If you really like basketball, bubble basketball has been really good basketball, in my opinion. You feel me? Because everybody has kind of had a chance, but to say that it's pickup basketball, I feel like it's kind of discrediting the actual difficulty of playing in the bubble for 100 days. You feel me? Like you've been there for 100 days with the same team going against, pretty similar guys. You feel me? At this point in the game, it's definitely not pickup. You could tell that from game 2 to game 3. They went from zone to man, And then they like we were talking about with the 2016 finals when LeBron and them were hunting switches. That's what they're doing. Like, you do that, you do all those things at the park, I guess, but I've thought this has been pretty high level basketball, if you ask me. I mean, we've seen some 57 pieces from guys we probably never thought we'd see. Like nobody saw Jamal Murray stepping out getting that 50 ball early on. You saw Dame getting 60. But at the same time, that's the type of stuff that happens in the playoffs. Dudes show up, and I can't necessarily say that that's only because of the bubble, because they've been good enough all year. But it's an 82 game season. That playoff pressure, it adds a different gear to those who it adds a gear to. You feel me? You either got it or you don't. And pickup basketball, man. I still play pickup basketball. I ain't never seen no pickup basketball look how it looked last night. So I can't agree with that one with Scotty.
For me, I think it was turned down a little bit earlier. You know what I'm saying? A little bit early on, and I give them that. You know what I'm saying? I would say it wasn't like pickup ball, but it wasn't like
it was weak
competitive at the start.
You know, 4-month hiatus stuff. You got to remember that too. A 4-month hiatus mid-season where they didn't have access to gyms, so they were rusty.
Fact though, I give you that, but like, man, I don't know. I definitely think it was kind of soft a little early on, but then it got picked up because I mean, quite naturally, guys know like, damn, we playing for something. You know what I'm saying? So guys and started turning it on, and I feel like it's on now. You know what I'm saying? For sure, it's been on since I would say since after the second round. So the conference finals on each side, I think it's been on all the way on all ends for sure. But I can't roll with Scotty on this one, bro. I just think Scotty. I think it's something with Jordan. I mean, with LeBron getting that about to get that fourth ring, that's kind of making him say that a little bit. I think it's something inside of him, but that shouldn't have to do anything with that. Like LeBron already been solidified. No matter if he got 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 rings, you know what I'm saying? He's still gonna be one of the ones. But man, Nate, Kyle, let me get your thoughts on that.
Man, I'm gonna say to that point, the moment you go under the whistle, it's no longer pickup. You know what I mean? Like they're playing referees that, like you said, Nate said, they're running sets. Like, come on, dude, it's not pickup basketball. Is it a different dynamic than a regular game? 100%. We've been saying that from the get go. I do think that certain people are overperforming because of the environment. Playing in front of 30,000, 40, 50,000 motherfuckers, that definitely can, you know what I'm saying, bring the best out you, or you know what I'm saying. Right. Exactly. So in that aspect, it is kind of like pickup as far as nobody watching, things like that. But also you still gotta realize like these dudes still know that they're you're on camera. Like millions of people are watching you regardless whether they're there or not. So that's still a factor in itself. So I mean I agree with you. I think Scotty just feeling some type of way because you know what I'm saying, a lot of old heads like to ping on back in my day we ain't had that. So you know what I'm saying, I think it's that type of thing. Like I feel like it's discrediting, you know what I'm saying, just to say it's like pickup, because come on, dude, you got officials. It's like pickup, man. No blood, no foul, straight up. Like that's pickup ball to me. You know what I mean? But nah, man, I can't agree with him.
And it's like, nigga, if you was playing in the bubble, you feel me, with no Jordan and no nothing, nigga, you wouldn't have did nothing anyway.
You wouldn't have did nothing, dude. You was not. Nowadays, like Scottie Pippen is Robert Covington nowadays.
Man, damn. No, like Pippen, like Pippen hard, but it's like, dude, like you wouldn't have done anything in this bubble, bro. Like he probably would have had a 40-point night, probably like early on. But other than that, like when it really got down to the real deal, Scotty, you probably wouldn't even been here if you was playing with Houston. Who was he playing with? Houston? And did he play with Portland too, or was it just Houston? I think it was just Houston.
I think it was. No, he played with Portland for a little stint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have did anything without, let's say he was on the Bulls when Jordan had left that, you know what I'm saying, when he had went away that season. He wouldn't have did anything, bro. I'm sorry.
Right.
It was But no, I don't, man. Let's get to this next one, bro. I need to know who you think the MVP of the finals is, bro. Who you got as the MVP right now?
Man, if I'm gonna give it to somebody, I might gotta go AD.
AD?
I might gotta go AD.
Yeah.
Only because of his all around effect on the game. He did slack off game 3. He underperformed, but he also only took 9 shots that game. So you can kind of put that on the offense in itself, not getting them the rock. But when he's touched it, man, he's made plays 100%. I feel like his effect on the defensive end has been even greater than what he's done on the offensive end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's affecting shots. He's, you know what I'm saying, he's everywhere. He's been crazy on the pick and roll. Like, he's just making the Heat's life hell. You know what I mean? Just his presence in itself. So I'm about to go AD right now. If it's me.
I want to go AD, and I think I'm gonna end up going AD like after the series is said and done with, because I feel like he won't have another game like Game 3. But just as of right now, bro, I gotta go LeBron, man. LeBron, he's been showing up every game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been there every game. No matter what, he's still out there. Even Game 3, AD didn't put on, he was putting on. And part of AD only having 9 shots, you can, like it is on the offense for not giving him the ball. But it may be on him, too, for not demanding it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, today, like, we talked about this before, like, how KD said, like, come on, bro, I'm KD.
Right.
Like, AD got to really get that about, and that's the only thing, that's, like, my only drawback from AD, because I feel like
you got to tell him to be aggressive sometimes.
I feel like
you ain't never got to tell him.
Yeah, like, AD, I feel like he could have already been great, bro, if he had what Tyler Hero had on the inside of him, bro. He could have already been great. Like, probably would have got him a ring or something. Like, well, I ain't gonna say that because
I'm about to say
it was the war. But you feel me, been in more better predicaments. You feel me, for sure. If he just got what Tyler Hero got in his heart, bro. And that's my only knock with AD. Like, bro, you gotta tell him to jump start it sometime when it's like, nigga, I ain't rocking with 6'11". Like, nigga, you a footer, nigga, who got a 3, who got a turnaround, who rebound.
He got everything in his bag.
Yeah, you don't need nobody to tell you to turn it on, bro. You that guy. But just for currently right now, we about to go to Game 5.
Yeah.
Game 5 Friday. They missed 2 games.
Friday.
Okay. So Game 5 Friday. Man, I'm going with LeBron for MVP right now, but I think AD gonna end up pulling it out because I know he's due for a 40-point night, a 30 or 40-point night for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you got anything else on the MVP talk?
Nah, man. Gave my prediction. I'm sticking with it.
Facto. And this is the last topic, bro. Should the NBA do a bubble again for next season, bro? Because it's been a lot coming out lately that even, like, I don't know if you've been paying attention to what the NFL has been going through. There's a lot of teams now having guys test positive from COVID. And I think Adam Silver had came out before and was like, it's not far off that we may look into doing a bubble again next year. So I want to get your thoughts on that. Do you think they should do it next year, or do you think they should open the arenas back up and, you know what I'm saying, get it going like that?
Man, it's so tough because it makes it that much, like, when you do a bubble format, it automatically cuts down the revenue from ticket sales. You know what I mean? Like, a part of what makes the league so exciting is the fact that they're traveling from city to city, night to night. So, and I feel like that's a huge aspect of the game, like, because that's why you hear a lot of
another one
saying that it's easier to play in the bubble because the travel is less. You know what I'm saying? They're more stationary. They don't have to go through all that. So, I mean, I feel like travel in the league is a part of the game. But I feel like it all comes down to where we are, you know what I'm saying, as a society with COVID. Is there a vaccine out? Are cases still rising? Because I'm pretty sure if Adam Silver can get the A-OK to have it back to normal and they getting that ticket money again, 100% it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, we
No,
back to traveling, you know what I mean? But I feel like it really all comes down to what's the safest thing for the players, because like you said, we seeing in the NFL, MLB, guys are testing positive. Um, and then a lot of it comes down to when you're not in a bubble format, it's really relying on these players to do what they have to do while they're not, you know what I'm saying, with the team, with the organization, because you're seeing all these other people. Like, you get more freedom when you're not in the bubble. In the bubble, they can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? They getting snitched on every time they leave. It's cameras watching. You know what I'm
they try
saying?
still
When
active.
you right, when
Chris
you get that freedom,
that hotline.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when you get that freedom, you really got to trust in the players, you know what I'm saying, to do what they're supposed to do. And I don't know, man. If I had to call it, I think that we're not going to be there just yet. I think next year we might see, I'm going to say half the season at least, a bubble format. I don't know how Adam Silver's going to do it. I think he's the best commissioner in sports. So
Man,
I know for sure they're going to come up with something that's going to work. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, I think it all comes down to where we are with COVID as a society, whether or not it's going to be a bubble format or not.
yeah. How I see it, I feel like they don't have to do the bubble as of right now. You know what I'm saying? For next season, I would kind of wait it out, kind of like how the MLB and the NFL is doing, but just making sure they're monitoring like the capacity of the fans in attendance, or even no fans at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, just doing tailgate stuff like outside, because even bro, I had went down to it's called the Battery. It's where the Atlanta Braves play at their stadium up in Atlanta. So I had went over there. It's a lot of food. You know, they just got it hooked up,
Yeah,
a lot of food spots and everything. So I go down there, bro. It's about 5, 10,000 people out there, not in the game, but just out there. You know what I'm saying? Spending
yeah,
money. You know what I'm saying? Like, just
right,
cause. I mean, even though we can't go in and watch it physically, shit, we buy it. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So
right, right.
like they could be able to do something like that, but they just have to be definitely make sure they're monitoring everything from arena
Right,
to arena and make sure the protocols are well in place, you know what I'm saying? Just so they could kind of like start easing back into allowing players, I mean the fans and stuff, to get back in the arenas. Cause like you said, bro, they missing that money. And if
right.
people think they ain't missing that money, prime example. I don't know how many we probably. I'm gonna have it estimated for next episode, but L.A. and Miami final, nigga.
No,
Like, I
no,
really
no,
think
no.
people really understand. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
$1 billion in
Severity
itself,
of
right
this shit.
there. It lost
Yeah,
in ticket sales.
like, bro, I don't think guys like really understanding the severity. Like, you got all the hotels in LA, all the food spots in LA, all the clothes spots in LA, the Lakers arena, nigga, the merch, all that. Then on Miami too, you know what I'm saying? All the food spots. Like, bro, that's a
Yeah,
dub. That's a dub
facts,
all the way around. If
facts.
Adam Silver probably been praying for like a nigga, LA, New York, or LA, you feel me, Miami for a long
Facts,
time. Just cause like,
facts.
bro, it's the best. Like, it ain't no beating that. We and two of the warmest spots, you know what I'm saying, of the country, and two of the on polar opposites of the country. You feel me? Pacific time zone, Eastern time,
Right,
3 hours.
facts.
So, you know what I'm saying? So if you think they ain't missing that money, you highly sleeping on that. You know what I'm saying? To the people out there, y'all highly sleeping if you think they ain't missing that money. So I think they would definitely start. I think it was just that they wanted to get the season off, and it was the playoffs, so they knew it was a limited amount of teams that they already had to include anyway that
Right.
made do the bubble. But I feel like next season it's gonna be on, bro. Like,
That's a great point. That's a great point because, you know what I'm saying, it was 22 teams originally. They
yeah,
knew after 8 games, a couple was going to get knocked off. It was only going to be 16.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Next year it's going to be the full 30. And you got 82 games. Like, how you going to do 82
man,
games?
like you can't.
You know what I'm saying? All of that, like, dudes is complaining about staying in the bubble for 100 days.
Yeah,
How you gonna do 82 games? Like, that's, you know what
about
I'm
four
saying,
or
damn
five
near a
months,
year
bro.
in a bubble in a confined environment. So, I mean, it's definitely tough, but I definitely think it's gonna come down to, like I said, where we are as a society with COVID. Hopefully, we get a vaccine out. Um, praying that numbers don't start don't start rising again. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can just evolve as a people and, you know what I'm saying, treat this joint like any other illness or sickness that you know what I'm saying it's possible. I mean, let's be real. It's a million ways to die out here. So I mean, I don't know, man. It's tough, but I got faith in Adam Silver that he gonna get it done.
Yeah, I like I said, bro. I think they're gonna end up having to do something just because it's like, man, it ain't no, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no option. I feel like they ain't gonna miss that money 2 years in a row, bro. You got anything else on this?
Nah, man, that's just about it.
Man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man, checking in on us, man. Make sure you keep on hollering at us, bro. Make sure you go over there, follow us on IG, all that, man. And make sure you go over there, follow National Sports Chat, TOV Sports, TOV Digital Media, man. And make sure you go, like, bro, you can check out all the content on all platforms, man. So we on YouTube, IG, all that. Like, so make sure you go over there, check us all out. And we come back here. We back here again every week, man, and we showing improving. We gonna continue to be here. And don't think just because the season about to end, we slowing down, bro. We about to pick it up. That's what that is. We about to go even harder. Like I said, man, make sure you follow us on all platforms, man. We coming through. National Sports Chat, TOV Media, Digital Media on all platforms, bro. Make sure you go there, follow Cot, follow me, follow Nate. The post-game bubble recap, we bringing that at y'all every week too. So we breaking down the games. We got the At the Line going on with just different little topics like that. So make sure you go over there and check that out. But other than that, man, I don't got nothing else. We checking in and we checking out, man. Micah and friends, yes, sir. All right. We in there. Like I said, we about in checking out. Yes, sir. My boy. Man, I appreciate you, Brody.
Alrighty, bro. It's a pleasure. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? I'll get up with you, though.
That's a bet.
Easy, bet it up.
It's something you can't understand. How I just keep killing, man. I'm from the South Rim, spinning like ceiling fans. Gambling with life, no complaining about the dealer hand. Back when niggas used to ride around the Dipset. Now these cops will shoot you on your live. That's a killer cam.
My bad, Dave. I'm like, man, I thought that was the outro. I'm like, man, let me just wrap it up.
Check, mic check.
I can hear you.
Yeah, that was my bad. I didn't have the audio leveled, so you couldn't hear the audio. But this is what it is. Hold on one second. I want you to add this to